What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Knuckles YouTube channel. Now, today we're not actually going over a deck, we're actually going over the new set in Japan called Bandit Ring. Now, I'm going to pick out some of the cards I like a lot from this set, and the reason I'm not going to review the whole set, well, I'll review the majority of the good cards, basically, but the set might change when it comes to America. Some cards might be taken away, cards might get added, just little stuff, so I don't want to go super into it, but let's go over this set real quick. Everybody's hyping the set, and there's good reasons why they're hyping it. It's a really good set. So the very first good card here is Vileplume. Look at Vileplume. So cute, but so deadly. Ability is Frustrating Pollen. As long as this Pokemon is play, both you and your opponent can't play any item cards. And everybody hated Toad. Everybody says hate Vileplume a little bit more, because you don't have to attack anymore, you can just use ability. Now, this is just like the old Vileplume we had. Oh, man, I don't remember which set it was, but what the name was. That's going to kill me. It's right behind me. The deck's still built. I still have my Gengar Vileplume deck built because it was one of my favorite decks ever. But Gengar Vileplume was really big. There was a Vanillix Vileplume that was really big. I think there was even a Machamp Vileplume at one point, if I remember correctly. But yeah, Vileplume's a really good card, obviously, and it just makes it both you and your opponent can't play item cards, which is really good here. The next card here is Ariados. Ariados has the ability Poison Nest. Once during your turn before you attack, you may use this ability. Both active Pokemon are not poisoned, excluding grass Pokemon, and that's cool. It seems like it might be better in Expanded if Expanded still exists, because Verbank's going to get rotated out, so it's only doing plus 10, but I think it's still a cool ability to have. And there's a card that helps grass Pokemon out that I'll talk about later here. So next up, we have Sceptile. The Sceptile is not that great, the regular one. It does 10 damage, flip a coin. If it has your opponent's Pokemon, it's now asleep and poisoned. And Assassin Claw, if your opponent's active, it's affected by a special condition. This attack does 70 more. So 60 plus 70 is what, 130? There you go. So you can do 130 with him, and they're poisoned, so 140. And you can just do this automatically with Ariados, which might be cooler with Burbank, because then that's like a 160. And with the Muscle Band, 180. Starts getting some crazy math numbers. But the good card here is Mega Sceptile. It says Jagged Saber. I really wish we had English on our cards. I don't really like the Japanese that we get. But, so here we got Theta Stop. Prevent all effects of your opponent's Pokemon abilities done to this Pokemon, which is really cool. And here we have Jagged Saber. It does 100 damage, and you may attach up to 2 grass energies from your hand to your bench Pokemon any way you like. If you do this, remove all damage counters from each Pokemon you attach them to. That is ridiculous. So let's say you can just cycle between 2 Sceptiles. You can have a Sceptile on the active, 2 on the bench, and you're like, alright, let's do 100 damage, 2 energies on each. Now you're active, it gets hurts. You retreat, because it has a 2 retreat cost, and it needs 2 energies to attack. So you can just retreat to a fresh one, attach your energy, use Jagged Saber, attach one to just the one bench. You don't have to have 2 this time, and heal all the damage from it. And that's pretty crazy. That's a really good card there. So look out for Sceptile. The next card here is good old Vespiquen. Now, this card is getting a lot of hype, and there's a really good reason why. Information Control, 10 damage. You may draw cards from your deck until there are 6 cards in your hand. This is not the attack we're looking at. We're actually looking at B Revenge. It does 20 damage. This attack does 10 more damage for each Pokemon card in your discard pile. Kind of sounds familiar. Kind of sounds like Flareon that we have now that did really good in one of regionals. So, Vespiquen, it has 90 HP. That's a key thing to note, and we'll go over that here in a second. So, Vespiquen, 20 plus 10 for each damage, for each Pokemon card in your discard pile. Alright, next up is this Flareon. This Flareon is ridiculous, and this is one of the reasons why Vespiquen is going to be one of the best decks. I'm not going to say the best, but it's going to be really good. So, Flareon has the ability Flare Effect. As long as this Pokemon is in play, all of your Stage 1 Pokemon are fire, sorry about that, as well as their original type. So now Vespiquen can be a grass and a fire type at the same time when this is in play. That is crazy. You can just basically pick the I guess not the type you are. There you go, for the different matches, and we'll go over it more in a second. And you got Heat Breath, 6 damage. Vespiquen, if it has attack, does 20 more. We have Entei here. I don't think either one of these are really good. They have the Theta Double. This Pokemon have 2 tools, which is kind of cute. Volcarona is alright. Here's a Magikarp that people were hyping up. Magikarp has 30 HP. Key thing to note here. Now, this Gyarados not good, but this Gyarados is pretty good, and he has a pretty awesome artwork. Like, he's fixing to eat that Pokemon trainer. Like, he might not eat him, but in my head, he's fixing to eat him. So we have Data Double here. This Pokemon can have 2 tools attached to it. And we have Counter Attack, which is the great attack here. It does 30 damage. This attack does 30 damage times the number of damage counters on all of your bench Magikarp. Alright, so all of your bench Magikarp. So you have 4 in play with 21 in each. You're doing 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. You're doing 240, unless I read that wrong. Times the number of damage counters on all your Magikarp. So 3, 6, 9, 12. Yeah, so 240. You can do 240 for just a DCE. Now, the scary thing is they only have 30 HP, so they can easily be knocked out by a lot of different Pokemon. So you have to watch out for that. You can also just Supercross with the Golbat, yeah, and knock out all the Magikarps in one hit. It seems cute. We'll just have to. I'm not gonna say wait and see. We're just gonna have to wait to see what happens in, I guess, League challenges. Yep. Alright, so we have Vaporeon here, Aqua Effect. It's just like the Flareon here. As long as this Pokemon in play, all of your Stage 1 Pokemon are water as well as your original type. Now here's the question I haven't really looked this up or looked into it. If you have a Vaporeon and a Flareon out, are you allowed to be grass, water, and your original type? So can Vespiquen be a fire, water, and grass? Or do you have to pick one? I'm not really sure on how that works, but as soon as the cards come out, we'll find out the details on it fairly quickly. All right, next up here, Kirami X is not that good here. 130 damage, discard 1 energy, attaches Pokemon during your opponent's next turn. The defending Pokemon can attack. It seems cute, but you can play a switch, escape rope. I think Super Scoop Up's still around, so you can try to Super Scoop Up. And it needs 4 water energy. I think Blastoise is gone. So I don't think it's gonna be that good of a card. Frozen World is tagged as 30 damage to each opponent's Pokemon. This is basically a Glaciate that we have now. And here we have Jolteon, just like earlier with the Flareon and Vaporeon. Jolteon has the electric effect. As long as the Pokemon is in play, all of your Stage 1 Pokemon are lightning, as well as the original type. Come on, Pokeball, I wanted to show what they look like. Alright, I guess we're not loading cards anymore. Wants to just spin around. I do like how Pokebeach has this Pokeball. That is really cool. Alright, next up is Ampharos. I don't think he's that good of an EX either. I know Kevin Murphy might be mad when I say this, but I think he'll agree with me this. So Mega Ampharos here needs 4 energy, 2 lightning, and a DCE. Exavolt does 120 damage. You may make this attack do 50 more damage, and your opponent's active is now paralyzed. If you do, this Pokemon does 30 damage to itself. So you can do 170 paralyze them, but it needs 2 lightning and a DCE or 2 colors. It seems good on paper, but there's a lot of cards that are probably going to run over this card. I guess you could attack turn 2 with the Mega Turbos and stuff, and it's going to be a cute deck. Is it going to be tier 1? No. Is it going to be tier 2? Possibly. It just seems like a fun deck to play around with. Next up card here is this Unknown here. Let's try. Oh, there we go. We're loading it now. Alright, once during your turn, if this Pokemon is on your bench, you may discard this Pokemon and all cards attached to it. This does not count as knocking out the Pokemon, but then you draw a card. And this is just like Unknown R that we had back at Diamond and Pearl age. But the cool thing about this is you can play with Vespiquen. Once again, Vespiquen hype, can't you tell? So if you use Vespiquen, you can help draw through your deck and play and discard unknowns in your discard pile to make the attack stronger. That's really cool there. You draw a card for every time you discard one off your bench. As soon as I saw Baltoy and Unknown R and Shaman, I was like, oh my goodness, we're gonna Claydol reprints. But from Greater Counters, but nope, it's not a good one. Rewind seems cute. Remove the top evolution card from each of your opponent's Pokemon and put those cards into your opponent's hand. So maybe you can spread around damage everywhere and then rewind and take all your prizes in one turn. I don't think Gurlurk's good. Hoopa is really good here. This art right here, this basic artwork seems cool, but wait till you see its full art. Here we have Bandit Ring, which is the name of the set. How cute is that? Once during your turn before you attack, when you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench, you may use this ability. Search your deck for up to 3 Pokemon EX, excluding Hoopa. Show them to your opponent, put them to your hand. This is really good. You can use this to search for Shaman, maybe some EX Pokemon that you need. It's just a really good setup card. The only cool thing is if the psychic energies were colorless, so we can actually attack with Hoopa, because Shaman has colorless energy attack, so I thought, it'd be cool if Hoopa had it. But Hoopa, it says discard 2 energy attached to this Pokemon, choose one of your opponent's Pokemon, this attack does 100 damage to that Pokemon. It's not that great, but it's just be cute if we could attack with Hoopa. So now it's basically just a straight up support Pokemon. Next up, Machamp. Not that good. 20 damage, attack does 20 damage times the number of damage counters on this Pokemon. You're confused. The Crazy Hammer, 80 damage if this Pokemon's affected by a special condition. The attack does 80 more damage, but you had to flip for confusion, so you might flip tails and hit yourself. Once again, it doesn't seem that good of a card. It just seems cute. I wish Machamp had a better attack here. I do like Machamp a lot. Overall, not that card though. Alright, so we see Tyranitar EX here. Head Smash, 60 damage. Ground Break, 130. Does 10 damage to each of your bench Pokemon. But here's the thing here. We have Mega Tyranitar. He's the Destroyer King. Right there, he's the Destroyer King. It literally says that in his text that he is the Destroyer and he is the King here. So we have the Theta Double. This Pokemon can have 2 Pokemon tools attached to it. Destroyer King is his attack. 110 damage. Does 60 more damage for each damage counter on your opponent's active Pokemon. And this is really cool because you can Crobat, or not Crobat, you could Golbat, put 2 damage counters on the active. Now you're doing an extra 120, which is 230. You're knocking out most EXs. If not, you can put double Golbat and do a ton of damage. You can be the Destroyer, basically, is what it says here. The Sableye seems cute here. Choose a supporter card in your opponent's discard pile and use this effect as the effect of this attack. Now, I wish it lets you. I wish it was like the old Sableye, where for no energy, you search deck for a supporter card and use it as and that's its attack from your deck. Because it kind of stinks if you start with Sableye and you're like, alright, my opponent tended to play supporter turn 1, so I can't really use Sableye. That's why I kind of wish it was from your deck. Maybe not a color's energy, maybe just a still dark energy requirement. But I think it'd be cool if they reprinted that. They are reprinting other cards, so I thought it'd be something neat. Here we got a Metagross. I don't think it's that good. This one's not either. Registeel. Ralts. The Gardevoir seems cool because you can heal between your turn. You may heal 20 damage from each of your Pokemon. But as a stage 2, its attack is garbage. Does 50 damage to a Pokemon. It's not affected by weakness or resistance. Pretty bad here. Whimsicott seems funny. If you can somehow... It says choose one of your bench Pokemon. Move all damage counters on that Pokemon to your opponent's active Pokemon. What the heck? Go away, Malwarebytes. What the heck? Go away. Sponsor! Alright. Alright. So if you have like a Wailord EX on the bench, you can just move all the damage counters and throw in your opponent's active Pokemon. It just seems cute. Here you have Giratina EX, which is probably the most hyped EX out right now. So it has Rebellious Wave, prevent all effects of attacks, including damage done to Pokemon by your opponent's Mega Evolved Pokemon. By your opponent's Mega Evolved Pokemon. Oh, so that Tyranitar that was the Destroyer is now getting destroyed by this Giratina. So that's great. We have this cool Tyranitar, now we have this Giratina come out. Which you might be like, alright, we'll just play Silent Lab. We'll get around this ability. Giratina is a basic Pokemon. You can Silent Lab it, whatever. Well, joke's on you. Giratina has Chaos Veil. It does 100 damage, and during your opponent's next turn, he or she can't play any Pokemon tools, special energies, or stadium cards. Alright, well, I guess the Silent Lab idea's out of the question now, and, yep. Alright, but the key thing to note here, it is weak to Fairy, so maybe Fairy decks will be good to beat the Giratina, and then we'll have this whole cycle of Fairy beating Giratina, Fairies beating, or Tyranitar beating Fairies, and then Giratina beating, I don't know, it seems like a crazy circle we'll have to go into. And it's not going to be hard to power up the Giratina at all because we have the double dragon energies. And if you have a Vileplume in play, your opponent can't play any trainer cards to discard energies off the Giratina. So all they can literally do is put down an energy and play a supporter. And not a special energy, an energy. So look out for Giratina Vileplume. Alright, coming to you at regionals in fall. Here's the Eevee that we get. 10 damage, 30 damage, flip a coin to tails. This attack does nothing. That's great. Um, let's see here. We have Porygon-Z here. Oh no, this Porygon is pretty cute. Discard all special energy attached to all your opponent's Pokemon. And then you have this other Porygon-Z. Prevent all effects done to this Pokemon by your opponent's Pokemon's abilities. And a digital reboot. Choose any number of evolved Pokemon on your bench. You may remove as many evolution cards from this Pokemon as you like. Put them back into your hand. Not really sure what the purpose of that is. I guess if you want to de-evolve your Pokemon, maybe there's some ruling with the Flareon, Jolteon, and the Vaporeon, and maybe if you pick one up and put another one down, you can change types middle of the game. Maybe that's why we're doing this. But if it was an ability, that'd be cooler. But since it's an attack, And the last EX here is Lugia EX. Arrow Ball does 20 damage. 20 damage times the number of energy attached to this Pokemon and the defending Pokemon. Sounds really familiar. It sounds like an Evital EX attack. Yep, it sounds just like an Evital EX, except it's Lugia now. And we have Deep Hurricane here for 4 energies, 80 damage. If there's a Stadium card to play, this attack does 70 more damage, and discard the Stadium card. And that's all the Pokemon in here, all the noticeable ones, I think. In my opinion, I could be way off, and there could be a lot more Pokemon in here that I just mislooked. But here we have Echo Arm. Shuffle 3 Pokemon tools from your discard pile into your deck. And this is probably my favorite trainer from this set. Just because we didn't have a way to get back Spirit Links when Trump Card got banned. When Trump Card got banned. So this lets you get Spirit Links back into your deck, which is really great now. So I love this card a lot. Here we have Paint Roller, which I know my friend John Collier, he was like, I really wish it was the card that could discard stadiums. And look, here it is. You discard a stadium play and then draw 1 card. So if you're playing Giratina and you're like, oh man, I didn't draw a way to discard that Silent Lab. Here's a Paint Roller. You just get rid of the stadium. Seems cute. Here we have a Lava Ball. Search deck for a Pokemon with 90 HP or less. Reveal it. Put in your hand. This is a reprint from one of the next Destinies. Here we have Lucky Helmet. When the Pokemon this card is attached to is to your active Pokemon, it is damaged by opponent's attack. You draw 2 cards. So basically, if your opponent attacks you and that is on the active Pokemon, you draw 2 cards. And if you have a Pokemon that can have 2 tools, you can draw 4 cards. And here we have the Spirit Links. We have Sceptile. We have the Ampharos. We have the Tyranitar. Alright. So next up we have the Ace Trainer. You can only play this card if you have more prize cards left in your opponent. So if I have 5 and you have 6, I can play the Ace Trainer. Both players shuffle their hands into your deck, then draw 6 cards and the opponent draws 3. Sounds like Team Galactic Wager, but no rock, paper, scissors. Just if only you're up in prizes. I wish they would bring back Team Rocket's Wager. I just want to play rock, paper, scissors in the middle of a Pokemon game. Here we have Hex Maniac. Until the end of your opponent's next turn, each Pokemon to play in each player's hand and each player's discard pile has no abilities. Oh, what was that? Giratina. Well, hold on, let's check one time. Let's double check here. Giratina has ability which prevent all effects of attacks, including damage done to this Pokemon by your opponent's Mega Evolved Pokemon. And its attack makes it where I can't play a total special energy or stadium. So we can at least play a supporter to shut down this ability for a turn and knock it out with Mega Tyranitar. Once again, it sounds like Mega Tyranitar might be the best EX card in this set. I could be wrong though. Unless I read that card wrong, I'm pretty sure that's how it works. So that's a cool thing there. Here we have Cooler Drain City, which I really like this. I really like this card too because it punishes Mega Pokemon. It once again helps out Vespiquen. Between turns, place 2 damage counters on each Mega Evolved Pokemon in play. So you can definitely play this in Vespiquen. You can play this in any deck that doesn't play Mega Pokemon. You can play this in Giratina because you're not gonna play. You're not gonna play any Megas. And here comes the most hyped Stadium card ever printed since Broken Time Space. It's not going to load for us right now. But each player's... Oh, there. Look at there. As soon as it said it's not going to load, it loads for us. Each player grass Pokemon can evolve during the first turn and on the turn they're put into play. So what does this mean exactly? Alright. So, let's say you have an Oddish sitting down and you play an Ultra Ball to get a Gloom and you have Giant Plant Forest out. You can evolve into Gloom. Alright, now you look in your hand, you're like... I haven't played a support yet. Play a supporter. Shuffle your hand to your deck. Draw some cards. Hey, look, a Vileplume. Boom, Vileplume. You just look at your opponent. You just stare at them, and they're like, "Oh my goodness, he got a Vileplume turn one." That's what this card does. It lets you skip stuff like that, or lets you, you know, get around that. So it's Giant Plant Force is probably. I am so happy. If you don't know, Shame is my buddy. Obviously, I love grass Pokemon. They are hyping this grass set right now. Alright, so we have some new energies here too. We have Flash Energy. This card can only be attached to Lightning Pokemon. And it just says this Lightning Pokemon has no weakness. That's cute. So the neck can be hurt by fighting Pokemon. And here we have Bad Energy. Can only be attached to Dark Pokemon. When the Pokemon this card is attached to is your active Pokemon, it is damaged by an opponent's Pokemon EX. Put 2 damage counters only attacking Pokemon EX. Now this seems like a good card, but I don't know. I don't really like it that much just because you can't Mega Turbo it to a Mega Tyranitar. But now Vileplume is going to be played a lot, and like I just showed you, or just taught you, if you didn't know for some reason, you can get a Vileplume turn 1 which shuts down Mega Turbo, so maybe Bad Energy might be good because you might be playing slow and you just attach it to Tyranitar and punish your opponent. So as soon as you get Mega Tyranitar out, you can just one-shot your Pokemon, because it has so many damage counters because of Bad Energy. Alright, let's go over some full art cards. Here we have Sceptile EX. Here we have Mega Sceptile. Jagged Saber. Once again, I wish we had the English on our cards. Here we have Kyurem EX. For a card that's not the best attacker, his artwork looks pretty cool here. Here we have Ampharos. Here you go, Kevin Murphy. Come on, buddy. You know you're supposed to buy 4 of these. And here we have Mega Ampharos. Look at this. Oh, man, looks like it's a mullet. We have like the same hair almost. We're floating in the wind, Mega Ampharos. Alright, Exavolt. And here we have probably the coolest looking full art card ever printed. Look at Mega Hoopa. Or just Hoopa EX. Sorry, he's not a Mega. Just a Hoopa EX. That looks so cool. I just noticed he has 4 hands. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is this even in the games yet? I don't feel like it is. Tell me if it is or isn't. Look at this Machamp. He is punching you in the face. Once again, I wish him Machamp was good too. Artwork looks sick though. Look at Godzilla. We have Godzilla. Look, a hand. Here we have Godzilla and Godzilla with the face on his belly button. Man, that card looks sick. If I'm playing Mega Tyranitar, I might get full arts. Like, oh my goodness, I might just pay the $10 to $20 difference just to play the full arts. All right, here we have Giratina. Once again, looks amazing. Why is it Lost World form? I think it's Lost World, right? We don't know. For some reason, it's Lost World. Maybe it's a sign. Maybe they're bringing back Lost World Pokemon. Is it Lost World? I feel like that's what it is. Here we have Lugia X. Look at there. Looks cool as, you know, Lugia's supposed to. He's supposed to look cool. And here we have some golden cards. We have Primal Kyogre Golden. But the only difference between these cards is they have a different trait. I think that's what they're called. Yeah, State now. When one of your Pokemon becomes this Pokemon, heal all damage from it. Oh man, this is so much worse than its old ability. Here's the Groudon. We'll make these all big right now. Rawr! And the Groudon has the same thing. Heal it when it evolves. Pretty bad because now you can't use its ability to protect it from the bench. Here we have the Mega Rayquaza from the Emerald Break one. Oh, it looks so cool. But don't worry, it has the Theta Max one. 2. Oh my goodness. Don't worry. The cards, I'm pretty sure the way it's working right now is the cards that are already out are not going to be changed. It's still going to keep its original traits. It's just that the shiny ones are having these new Theta Maxes for some reason. I don't understand. Maybe when they come to America, they'll be changed, hopefully. And here we have a Golden Energy Retrieval and a Golden Trainer's Mail. So if you play the Golden Trainers, there's some cards you want to get there. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or if you want to talk about these cards, let me know in the discussion down below or the comments down below. Let's talk about them. Let's get some hype train going on here. I know a lot of people are really excited for the set and excited for all these cool looking full art cards. Like, oh my goodness. Like I said, look at this Giratina. Look at these cards. They're probably the best full arts that we've had in a long time. Alright, but hope you enjoyed the video. If you're like, Squeaky, what are you talking about? You're bad. You missed this card. Let me know. I want to know which card's good if I missed something. I read them all this time around, so we're ready to go. And like I said, maybe the English set might have some different cards. You never know what can happen. Huge shout out to Pokebeach for doing this and getting all these cards up. Big shout out to them. Without them, we wouldn't have these news. And for some reason, if you've never heard of Pokebeach, go check them out. They have great articles. Just like all the other websites, all the websites are great. Y'all are all great writing articles and stuff. I even wrote an article for 6 prizes. If you want to go check it out, it's down below. We talk about we talked about colors for quality using 9 different decks, 9 different energies you can use with it, which seems pretty cool. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Alrighty, bye.